they're like, come on, like, figure yourself out. Like, what do you do? What do you want to show in your artwork? Or like, who are you as an artist? Which is the hardest freaking question to answer ever. Like, one day I'll be sewing, the next day I'll be taking pictures, but I'll say, you know, I'm a photographer, but like, low key, I'm like so many things. Okay, ready? My name is Stephanie DeFeo. I'm 22 years old. I am a photographer based out of Philadelphia, and I go by pronouns she and her. I enjoy doing fashion editorial work, and then I have like street photography work that I do, and then I do, which is basically candid stuff. So I do like pose stuff and candid stuff. Maybe, I guess I could kind of chop it like that. I love both sides of it. I think me personally, I create artwork kind of to like make myself feel happy. Like, a lot of people are very, like, they create to like feel this one type of emotion all the time, and I always try to pinpoint like a brightness in it, or like some sort of like beauty of stuff. When I started doing fashion editorial work, I think that was key to like finding who I am as a photographer, because I was able to, you know, like create random stuff and like use like hair and makeup and be fun with it and clothes and all that such, and then go in a studio and figure out lighting, and then after that is the editing. So if I'm doing a editorial, or like normally the editorials that I do, I'm like, I hit up my friends and I'm like, hey, you want to do some hair and makeup for a shoot? Like, my friend wants to model. I have some clothes I picked up from Urban, or I have a really cool friend that just made an awesome shirt. Let's get together and take some photos. And then I'm like, okay, on my end, I have a lot of shit to do. I grab a bunch of inspo too before, and that's normally like, my inspo normally is like music, Pinterest boards. There's so much artwork out in the world that it's amazing for artists, and then once you're there, you have to set everything up, and then most of the time, half the things there are broken or something, and you're like, oh shit, what do I do? So you have to be smart on a photo shoot for sure, or at least you have to have your camping head on, I always say. Because you're like, okay, well, I could string that light over there and then extension it over there while the model be over there. So there's a lot of technical and directional stuff that you have to do before the shoot. Then you shoot it, and then you're like, that took 20 minutes out of the 4 hours that you actually got there, and you're like, holy shit. And the model's like, wait, that's it, you know? And I'm just like, yeah, we got it. I normally shoot digital and film because I love film, just the texture of it, of like the photograph itself, and like the process of it is completely hands-on. I think that's what is really cool about photography. Like, right now there's like the digital, obviously, but there's, you know, emotion to it with like the human body, which is awesome. So now I'm a full-time digital tech at Urban Outfitters right now. So what that is, it's basically, I'm the person on the computer 9 to 5 doing e-com work, which is, you go on the Urban Outfitters website and you see like the girl standing in like a full shot and like back shot, like all that stuff on a white background. That's what we do. And I'm just like making selects. So I'm making the selects that go on the website, and then it's like refined from the art director, and then it goes through retouching and all that other stuff. I think as an artist, I look for like the organic, like the beautiful, like sudden things that happen in life. My teacher, she would always, you know, tear me down on a really bad idea, or she'd be like, okay, you're getting somewhere, but let's try to, you know, put some background to it, put some like dirt in it, like make it more interesting than just visually. Because I think early on I always struggled with that, and that one teacher always was like, you know, let's sit down and like figure out the complexity of it. That way it hits other people in different ways. When I'm shooting, I feel like I want to capture an energy or some type of movement rather than me having it in my head and figuring, or like knowing that I want to get that type of thing, because it always happens that you want to get that one thing and then it happens and it looks like shit and you're like, wait, I don't really want this, you know, and you kind of miss everything else that was kind of really pure. I think when I do my street work, I think I'm my eye has been trained to do like very simple shapes and stuff. If you go on my Instagram, I know I have like a bunch of like centered objects, I've been realizing, and like the colors have been very saturated, which is cool. So I don't know why I do it, but it's like some sort of like rhythmic pattern that I enjoy seeing. And then I have post work, I have to edit afterwards. That's the fun job, I think, because you get to sit down, have a beer, play some music, put the photos on a computer, and then you see what you get and you're like, wow, this is awesome, or it could have been a total fail, and then you want to reshoot it. But I think that's like the funnest. I fell in love with that part in photography, is where you go and like you're on like in a coffee shop or something, or like you're in your studio and you just like look back at life, and like that's like the best part, you know, because like photography was always about like capturing the family moments and like figuring out the happiness in that. And I think I still get that when I come back and look at my photos every time I do a photo shoot. Staying creative in general is a very hard thing to do, because you're dealing with like growing up, you know, you're dealing with like money and all that such, and then you're like, holy shit, I'm an artist too, you know, I gotta feed that creativity. But what I do is I listen to a lot of music just to like get movement in me, you know, try to get things churning a little bit. Visually, I love Instagram, I love Pinterest, I love any other individual that is like trying to make art. Social media has a huge effect on my career, my life. Instagram is like, it makes everybody a photographer, you know? So you're trying to figure out, you're looking at different freelance photographers, you're looking at, you know, painters, musicians, and how they promote themselves on this platform of 2D work, you know, and it's fucking scary as shit, because you're like, wait, if I post that photo, people are gonna like totally unfollow me and not like my work or something like that. But then being an artist, you're like, well, fuck it, you know, I'm gonna do what I want, this is me, express myself. And I think that was more of the lifestyle that I clicked onto when I came to Instagram or social media. I just didn't care for the audience, I just cared for more of like, I like this, I'm posting this. On the days that like I wanted to stay in, I always push myself to go out and like be in a group of people, and I think that's always been my inspiration. Follow my Instagram.